In the interest of time, and since I ran up here when I was not supposed to, I'm just going to skip my introduction. I'm Britt. I'm president of Ide Law Strategy, and what we really want to focus on is Phuong Phillips. And it's my pleasure to award this to her for the law and finance category. But first, everybody yesterday talked about how cool the view is. So I am a Twitter geek, so I will share the view momentarily. So Phuong is amazing. So her professional bio is fantastic. She did her undergraduate and her law degree at UCLA. She did communication studies and then law. She worked at a huge law firm, Wilson Sonsini, in California. She did major IPOs, huge ones, names you'll recognize. Ask her the big ones. I won't do any plugs here. But she was doing such a great job as outside counsel for SolarCity that Seth, another ambassador, wisely recruited her in to work in-house at SolarCity. So doing great work. You'll hear amazing kudos from her colleagues. The one that stuck with me the most is when I learned that of a company that is now 7,000 employees, she won the MVP award for the most valuable person in their company. Now, who out there is a lawyer? Okay, and who's worked in-house as a lawyer in companies? Yeah, I worked in-house for a decade at companies. Lawyers never win those awards, never. So that stuck out dramatically to me. Phuong is also a mentor to her team and her company. People love working with her. She's great with the students. And on a personal note, she has 2 daughters. She's active on managing their softball team and their soccer. She's their librarian in kindergarten. So while she is an extremely hard worker and works many long hours, I like how she arranges all her time. I asked her how she fit it all in. She said she doesn't sleep much. I'm a little envious of that. The other thing I just wanted to highlight is what an amazing story Phuong and her family are. Her family left riches in Vietnam and came to the U.S. to give a better future for their children, and came here with nothing. And her dad started working 3 jobs. And to look and see what she has accomplished and what she's doing now for her children and moving on. I mean, that is the true American success story. So there are so many reasons to recognize Phuong that it's my true pleasure. Please come up and give yourself a moment.
So thank you, Britt. I'm incredibly honored to be included in this group of special women. I've really enjoyed meeting many of you, and I'm struck by the diverse paths each of you has taken to be here. My own path to SolarCity began about 35 years ago when my mother and father chose to escape Vietnam to provide better opportunities for my brothers and me. America was a foreign country to my parents in every way imaginable. They didn't know the language, they had no connections, and they had to start over from scratch. In doing so, they taught me that hard work, kindness, education, and willingness to take some risk along the way could allow me to succeed, even if the odds seemed stacked against me. My parents also instilled what would become a lifelong respect and admiration for entrepreneurship. They launched a restaurant with no formal training and turned it into a successful business to support our family. And they were not alone. All around us in Silicon Valley, where I grew up, innovation blossomed. I was surrounded by entrepreneurs, and I knew from a very young age that I wanted to be a part of that. After college, I was drawn to Wilson Sonsini, a law firm that supported innovators that grew startups into established companies. I was fortunate to be able to work with companies that have become iconic, like Netflix and Google, but was particularly inspired by a solar company called SolarCity. SolarCity's success is embodied in a simple question that our CEO and co-founder, Lyndon Rive, often asks anyone within earshot. If you had the choice to pay less for clean power than you currently pay for dirty power, would you do it? I think most of us would say yes. I started in 2008 as SolarCity's outside counsel, and in 2011 joined its small legal in-house team of 4. We are now at over 35 in our department, which is staggering. When I first started, solar was known as a commodity for the rich. Now, solar is available to almost everyone. I love that. And we have to thank Lyndon and his brother Peter for their innovation and entrepreneurial spirit to change the solar industry and make it accessible to everyone. To make its clean power for less mantra a reality, SolarCity has pursued a strategy of aggressive scale and vertical integration, and I've been fortunate to be able to participate in many of those transactions that have underpinned that strategy. From the company's IPO in 2012 to the distributed solar industry's first asset-backed securitization and the 4 acquisitions we completed in the last year alone. As I'm sure the others here would agree, for every woman acknowledged today, there are so many more that are making major contributions. I'm also here to represent a strong group of women leaders at SolarCity who have played key roles in the company's growth and success, including my junior high, high school, college classmate and friend, Sharon Greenberg, who's our Director of Engineering, Fiona Taylor, our Vice President of Asset Management, and Alice Cathcart, our Director of Process Engineering, not to mention our amazing board member, Nancy Fund, who is also here with us today. They, like all of you, are showing the young women of today what is possible in industries that have not been overflowing with women leaders in the past. They inspire me, and in the same way, I hope to be an inspiration and role model to my 2 young daughters, Caitlin and Haley, and show them what is possible through hard work and willingness to embrace the challenge. As women role models in this industry, it is absolutely our obligation to mentor and support our women colleagues and nourish our youth with opportunities. In closing, I want to thank the people that have made today possible for me. Thank you to all my colleagues at SolarCity, but in particular, thanks to Seth Weissman, my friend and mentor, for supporting me for the past 15 years. And finally, a special thank you to my husband, Alex. It's fitting that he's here today. He actually flew all the way in yesterday because he has been supportive from the moment we met. And thanks again to the C3E program. I am truly honored to be here and to accept this award.